Chosen one, stop scrolling for just a moment, because what you're about to hear may be the most important message your soul receives this entire year. It's no coincidence that this video has appeared in front of you right now. This isn't just another piece of content. This is divine timing. God has orchestrated this very moment to whisper something urgent to your spirit. You may have been sensing it already, an inner stirring, a shift in the atmosphere around you. You can feel it in the silence, in your dreams, in the strange interruptions in your day. You can't explain it, but you know something is coming. And here's the truth. You're not imagining it. The days ahead carry a spiritual weight unlike any you've experienced before. This is not just about you stepping into a new season. This is about a divine chain reaction that begins with your obedience. What God is doing in your life right now will overflow into the lives of those around you, your family, your children, even those watching you from afar who don't even realize they're about to be impacted by your breakthrough. These next few days are crucial. The heavens are moving, divine instructions are being released, and unless you're spiritually attuned, you might miss the window you've been praying for all along. God is aligning doors, connections, revelations, and not all of them will stay open forever. The question is, will you be ready when it comes? Before we continue, take a moment to breathe and settle your heart. And if this message is already resonating deep within your spirit, I want to invite you to comment 777 below. That number isn't random. It's a prophetic symbol of divine alignment, completion, and spiritual readiness. By typing it, you're not just engaging, you're declaring to heaven and earth that you're ready for what God has prepared for you. And to those of you who have been faithfully supporting this channel through super thanks, words truly fall short. Your gifts have helped us keep this light shining, allowing the word to reach hearts in places we may never physically go. Whether you've donated or simply prayed, shared, or listened, thank you. You are a vital part of this mission. Now lean in, because we're about to go deeper. This is more than a motivational word. This is a call to divine preparation. The next chapter of your life is not waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your alignment. And the moment you align, the acceleration will begin. What if the very answers you've been waiting for are already circling you, waiting for your spirit to rise and say yes? What if God has been quietly preparing you behind the scenes, not to survive, but to lead, not to simply hope for a better life, but to awaken into your true authority as His chosen one? Stay with me now, because in the next few minutes, something is going to shift in your understanding, and once you see it, you'll never be the same again. Let's step into this together. God's chosen ones, the days ahead, are crucial for you. Stay ready. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why your path seems heavier, more intense, more sacred than those around you? It's not your imagination, it's your assignment. The days ahead are not random, they are divine. You're not just stepping into a new chapter, you are entering a spiritual activation that has been written into your destiny. As Jeremiah 1:5 reveals, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Your existence is not a coincidence. You were chosen, handpicked by God, to be the one who carries a light strong enough to awaken your entire bloodline. Even if you feel disconnected from your family, misunderstood, or even rejected, you were still divinely placed among them for a reason. Just like Esther, who was positioned in the palace not for comfort, but for divine intervention, you too have been placed where you are for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Could it be that your placement is the very answer to the prayers your ancestors whispered through tears generations ago? God is calling you not just to walk forward, but to lead, not just to believe, but to embody faith. Whether they see it or not, you are being prepared as a vessel of generational healing. And isn't it interesting how the greatest leaders in Scripture, Moses, Joseph, David, were all first misunderstood by their own people before they were elevated? What if your delay was really just divine positioning? Consider this. Nelson Mandela, a man once imprisoned and dismissed as a threat, later became the voice of reconciliation for an entire nation. He once said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have taken a moment to rest, but I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities." Like Mandela, your suffering is not in vain. It is being used by God to build endurance, compassion, and clarity, so that when your time comes, you lead with purpose, not ego. You may ask, but how can I carry such a weight when I still feel broken myself? The answer is in your obedience. 2 Corinthians 12:9 reminds us that my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your willingness. He needs your yes. That yes is unlocking something far greater than you can yet see. The promises God made to you in secret are now beginning to echo in the natural. The shift is already happening. Can you feel it in your spirit? That restlessness, that stirring, that is the Holy Spirit nudging you to prepare. Proverbs 3:5-6 gives you the instruction. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. What would happen if you trusted God completely in this season? If you no longer waited for others to validate you, but walked in what God already confirmed? The world teaches you to seek approval, but the kingdom calls you to seek obedience. And even if others don't understand your calling, even if they question your silence, your vision, or your boundaries, stay aligned. Remember Joseph. His own brothers mocked him, sold him, and thought they'd erased him. But in Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells them, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the setup for God's glory. The blessings that are coming your way aren't just for comfort, they are for overflow. They are going to restore your health, your finances, your relationships, and most of all, your purpose. This is not just your breakthrough, it is your family's elevation, and the world will see the evidence of your faith. Psalm 126:5 promises, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." So here's the real question. Are you ready to stop doubting and start moving like the chosen one you are? Will you continue shrinking to fit environments that can no longer contain the anointing God has placed on your life? Or will you rise up and take your place in this divine moment? This isn't just another turning point. This is the turning point. Heaven has heard your prayers. Now it's time to live like the answer is already on the way. Chosen one, you might be looking around at your family right now and wondering, why does it feel like we're not on the same page? Spiritually, emotionally, even geographically, your loved ones may be scattered in every direction. Some are still hurting, some are wandering, others may have walked away altogether, and yet God sees the entire picture. He's not just working on you, He's preparing to touch them all. Even those who seem furthest from understanding what's unfolding in your life are still within the reach of His grace. God is aligning hearts, even in silence. He's healing the emotional fractures that no conversation has been able to fix. He's breathing life into relationships that once felt beyond repair. And here's the sacred part. You are the bridge, the living connection between where your family has been and the future God is preparing for them. Can you imagine what could happen if you fully embraced that role, even while standing alone in your faith? You might be the only one who sees the vision right now, But don't let that isolate you. Let it inspire you. God often begins his greatest movements with just one person. Noah built the ark before anyone saw a single drop of rain. Abraham left everything familiar without knowing where God was taking him, and still they obeyed. Why? Because they trusted that God's promise was bigger than their present understanding. Could it be that your unwavering faith is the seed from which a whole generation's healing will grow? As you walk in obedience, expect the unexpected. The evidence of God's favor on your life will begin to shine, first subtly, then undeniably. The very ones who questioned your path or dismissed your prayers will begin to whisper among themselves, "Something is different about you," and they'll be right. It won't be just the tangible blessings, though those will come, divine favor, open doors, sudden provision. It will be the shift in your peace, your joy, your strength. It will be the unshakable presence of God that walks with you. And here's where it goes deeper. This isn't just about material breakthrough. It's about restoration. It's about the spiritual inheritance of love, unity, and healing flowing back into your bloodline. God's goal isn't simply to prosper you, it's to rebuild the broken ruins of relationship. As Isaiah 58:12 says, "You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings." He's using your obedience to mend emotional walls that have stood for decades. This is about forgiveness replacing bitterness, about reconciliation triumphing over regret. Have you ever wondered if the damage was too deep? If the silence between you and someone you love could never be repaired? God says otherwise. Love covers a multitude of sins, as 1 Peter 4:8 reminds us. His love is not restrained by time or trauma. His spirit can reach into places therapy, logic, and even apology can't touch. And sometimes healing starts in the most unexpected places. Consider Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the world-renowned actor and entrepreneur. He once spoke candidly about his fractured relationship with his father. Years of emotional distance and unspoken pain defined their bond. But before his father passed, the two reconciled. In Johnson's words, "Forgiveness is so important. I learned to see him as a man, not just my father." That moment of healing wasn't just personal, it became generational. And in the same way, your surrender can be the spark that ignites healing across your entire family line. Chosen one, don't underestimate what God is doing through you. Even if your family members aren't walking with God yet, your obedience is opening doors they don't even realize exist. As Joshua 24:15 declares, "As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." That promise isn't just a verse, it's a declaration. And by your example, by your quiet strength and consistent faith, hearts will soften, minds will open, the Holy Spirit will move. So stay grounded. Don't force, don't fear, just trust. Love stronger than the division. Pray even when no one joins you. Speak life over your family in private, even when the reality looks opposite. The shift you're stepping into is not just personal, it's collective. This is the season where faith is restored, old wounds are healed, and families rise, not in fragments, but in unity. Are you ready to see what God can do, not just for you, but through you? Chosen one, your rise is not meant to be hidden in silence. It was never meant to be modest or unnoticed. Your elevation is a declaration from heaven. It is the living, breathing proof that God's promises do not fail. It's not about seeking applause or approval. It's about awakening belief in those who've forgotten what divine transformation looks like. Has it occurred to you that your breakthrough might be someone else's wake-up call? God is using your life as a signpost that points back to Him. You are not just succeeding, you are testifying. Every door that opens, every miracle that unfolds, every time you walk with grace when the world expected you to break, these are sermons without words. Matthew 5:16 reminds us, Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Your light is not for show, it's for revival. Some people may observe you quietly now, skeptical or amused. They may question your passion, dismiss your spiritual discipline, or roll their eyes when you talk about faith. But don't be discouraged. Keep planting seeds. Share the truth anyway. Keep watering the soil with love and grace, because the rain is coming. The harvest is nearer than you think. And here's the powerful truth. It's not your job to make them believe. That burden isn't yours to carry. John 6:44 says, "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them." You are not their savior. You are the example. You are the bridge. You are the one God is using to till the hardened ground of unbelief. He will reveal himself in his time, and when he does, your life will be the living proof that their hearts can't deny. Consider Tyler Perry, the filmmaker and entrepreneur who endured homelessness, abuse, and rejection, yet never let go of his faith. He has said, "It was my faith in God that allowed me to keep going when nothing made sense. My success is not mine. It's a testimony." And indeed it is. Like Perry, your success is not just yours to enjoy, it's yours to share, to inspire, and to open the eyes of those who forgot that God still moves. So keep building, even when it's lonely. Stay faithful, even when the fruit isn't visible yet. Stay humble, even when your life begins to shine brighter than ever before. What you're building is not just a personal milestone. It's a spiritual monument, a legacy, a foundation of faith that your children and your grandchildren will one day stand on with confidence and strength. Have you ever considered that the prayers you're praying now might be the ones your descendants will benefit from generations later? You're not just overcoming struggles for yourself, you're paving a smoother road for those who come after you. Psalm 145:4 says, "One generation shall praise your works to another, and shall declare your mighty acts." Your life is creating the story they will tell. The trials you've faced, the moments you've wept in silence, the nights you've fought doubt and despair, none of it was wasted. It was all part of the training ground. God was shaping your endurance, sharpening your wisdom, and deepening your compassion. Why? Because your family didn't just need a success story, they needed a spiritual anchor, someone to intercede, to stand in the gap, to remain faithful when others gave up. And that's who you've become. This isn't just about breakthrough. This is about inheritance, eternal, unshakable, divine. You are building something far more valuable than wealth or status. You're building a testimony. And one day, your family will look back and say, "We were blessed because someone chose to believe when it was hardest." So, chosen one, the question is not whether you're ready. The real question is, are you willing to keep walking when it's not about you anymore, but about everyone who will come after you? Because God is no longer just writing your story. He's using your life to write a new chapter for your entire bloodline. Chosen one, pay close attention to the days ahead, because something divine is stirring. The next few days and weeks will not be ordinary. They will bring subtle signs, massive shifts, and sudden breakthroughs that even your enemies won't be able to explain. What you're about to walk into is not luck, it's alignment. Can you sense it already? That feeling deep in your spirit that something sacred is building around you. That's the Holy Spirit preparing you for a turning point so significant, you'll look back and say with certainty, that was when everything began to shift. But this moment won't be just about your personal victory. It will be the beginning of a family-wide awakening. You are the one God is using to draw the blueprint. You are the bridge that will carry your bloodline from brokenness into restoration, from confusion into clarity, from wandering into divine direction. The rise of your family starts with you, and because it begins in love, it cannot be stopped. As Isaiah 60 verse 1 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. That light is not meant to stay with you. It is meant to spread. What's coming is not just a blessing, it is an overflow. God is about to pour into your life in a way that spills into every crack of your family tree. It will touch your siblings, your parents, your children, even those who once walked away. And it won't stop with one miracle. This is not a one-time breakthrough. This is generational healing. Have you considered that your current faith walk is the foundation for someone else's answered prayer 50 years from now? You are living out Deuteronomy 7:9, which says, "Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments." What God is doing through you will echo beyond your lifetime. It will outlive you. The seeds you are sowing today, seeds of prayer, obedience, patience, and praise, will grow into trees of righteousness that your children's children will find shelter under. This is not temporary. This is eternal construction. God is crafting something holy and lasting within your bloodline. You are the Abraham of your family, being told to walk forward by faith, not knowing all the details, but trusting in the covenant. And like Abraham, your willingness to say yes is creating space for generations to be blessed. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you, God told him in Genesis 12:3. And that same promise lives in you now. At first, some of your family might not understand. They may look at you and wonder what changed. They may question your peace, your discipline, your joy, but don't take their confusion personally. Remember what Jesus said in John 13:7. "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Let God do the revealing. Your job is to stay aligned. Keep your heart clean, your faith active, your prayers constant. Heaven is moving, and when God moves, nothing stays the same. Even the most skeptical hearts, those who once rolled their eyes at your faith, will begin to soften, and eventually the questions will fade, because the fruit will speak louder than your words ever could. Take a moment to think of Chance the Rapper, a Grammy-winning artist known for blending faith with mainstream success. Early in his career, many questioned his direction, his boldness in mentioning Jesus, his refusal to follow secular trends. But Chance once shared, "I tried to do it all without God, but the more I ran from him, the more I saw him showing up anyway." His public journey of surrender became a blueprint for many, especially young people, to trust that faith and favor can coexist. Like you, his testimony became a turning point for others. Chosen one, your obedience is setting your family apart, not for a single season of blessing, but for a lifetime of divine elevation. What once looked like doubt will become reverence. What once felt like silence will break open with songs of praise. Psalm 126, 1-2 says, "When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy." That day is coming for your family. There's a shift happening, slow for some, sudden for others, but soon undeniable for all. The blessing that was once just your burden to carry will become their witness to behold. And when they ask, "How did this happen?" you will answer with clarity, "It was God. Every step, every tear, every trial, He used it all." So stay grounded, stay watchful, stay faithful, because what's coming is not just revival, it's inheritance. Chosen one, the changes on the horizon for you will not stop at material breakthroughs. What God is preparing to release into your life is far more profound. Yes, provision is coming, but it will pale in comparison to the peace that's about to settle into your home. Philippians 4:7 speaks of a peace that transcends all understanding, and that is exactly what your family is going to experience. It's the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to the natural mind, but anchors the soul in the middle of life's chaos. This transformation will go deeper than surface-level success. It will reach into the heart of your family, the broken pieces, the unspoken pain, the distant relationships, the years of misunderstanding, and begin to mend what once seemed impossible to repair. People in your family who've never felt purpose before will begin to feel something stir inside them. They'll ask themselves questions they never dared to ask. Why am I here? What is God calling me to do? And when they seek answers, they'll turn to you, the one they once doubted, the one they misunderstood. Have you imagined what that moment might feel like, when someone who once dismissed your faith asks you how to pray? When they see your life so transformed, so aligned with something greater, that they can't help but want to know the God who walks with you. That moment is coming. You were never walking this path just for yourself. This was always about something greater, a generational turning point that begins with your yes. You are the one God chose to shift the spiritual atmosphere over your bloodline. The curses that plagued your family, cycles of poverty, addiction, fear, broken relationships, are crumbling under the weight of your obedience. Just as Gideon, a man hiding in fear, was chosen by God to lead a nation into victory despite his self-doubt, Judges 6. You too were chosen not because you were the strongest, but because you were willing. And that willingness is about to yield visible, undeniable results. Soon, the evidence will be everywhere. Friends, family, co-workers, even complete strangers will begin to notice. They'll see the shift in your countenance, the abundance in your life, the harmony in your home. And the question will rise, how did they come out of that? How did this happen? But the world won't be able to explain it. It won't be luck. It won't be strategy. It will be the hand of God. And it will be so evident, so miraculous, that even those far from faith will be drawn to believe. John 9:25 tells the story of a man healed by Jesus. When questioned by skeptics, all he could say was, "One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see." That will be your family's testimony. The healing God brings will touch every level. Physical illness, yes, but also emotional scars, spiritual dryness, and relational fractures that have endured for years. Words once spoken in anger will be replaced with grace. Cold shoulders will become warm embraces. Unspoken pain will be replaced with healing conversations. God isn't just lifting your family into visibility. He's restoring it from the inside out. Joel 2:25 promises, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, the lost time, the strained years, the silent seasons. None of it has been wasted." Think of Viola Davis, the Oscar-winning actress who was once raised in deep poverty and emotional hardship. She often speaks about how her life changed, not because her circumstances improved quickly, but because faith and healing began working through her from the inside. She once said, "I want to be a witness that it's never too late to heal, that there is grace, even for the parts of us we try to hide." And in your case, that healing will not only reach you, it will stretch through generations. So, chosen one, prepare your heart. The transformation God is orchestrating in your life will become a legacy, not just a moment. This isn't about short-term blessings, it's about eternal restoration. The God who heals, the God who restores, the God who breathes life into dry bones. He is rebuilding your family's story through you. And soon what once felt forgotten will become the loudest proof of God's unfailing love. Are you ready to let your life become the undeniable evidence of God's power, not just for you, but for every soul connected to you? Chosen one, when people see the transformation in your life, it won't be something they can ignore. They'll notice the way you walk differently, more grounded, more joyful, more whole. They'll notice the peace radiating from you even when circumstances don't make sense. And quietly, inside themselves, they'll start to wonder, if God can do that for you, Could He do it for them too? Your breakthrough will be more than a personal blessing. It will become a spark of hope for others. The limitations they once accepted will begin to dissolve simply by witnessing what God is doing through you. You won't need to defend yourself. You won't need to explain. The fruit in your life will become the message. The blessings will speak. The healed relationships will speak. The peace in your home will speak. Matthew 7:20 reminds us, "By their fruits you will recognize them." When the transformation is real, the evidence is undeniable. And that's exactly what God is about to put on display in your life. You've walked through the wilderness. You've waited patiently in seasons of silence, where answers seemed distant and the promise felt like a whisper. You've endured the refining fire, the pressure, the hidden prayers, the moments you nearly gave up, but didn't. And now, the divine announcement has been made in heaven. Your time has come. Can you feel the shift in your spirit? The clouds are parting. Light is breaking through. God is not just preparing the blessing, He's releasing it now. Isaiah 60:22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." That time is here. Peace is coming like a flood. Financial restoration is being written into your reality. Joy, authentic, sustainable joy, is returning. Purpose is no longer hidden in mystery. It is being revealed with clarity. And all of this isn't random. It was written into your destiny before you ever questioned your worth. You may have spent years asking, "When, Lord?" But now the answer is becoming clear. This is your appointed moment. Don't let doubt creep in now. Don't shrink beneath the weight of the very prayers you once prayed for. Hebrews 10:35-36 encourages you. So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. This is that reward. The prayers, the perseverance, the obedience, it was never in vain. Think of Stormy Omartian, best-selling author of The Power of a Praying Wife and other faith books. Her early life was full of trauma, abuse, fear, darkness. She once said, "God doesn't waste our pain. He uses it to prepare us for what He's called us to do." Today, her testimony has helped millions around the world restore their families and deepen their faith. Like her, you are stepping into the part of your story where what once wounded you becomes what God uses to heal others. What's ahead will astonish you, not just in its scale, but in its intimacy. This isn't just about changing your external situation. God is going deeper. He is healing wounds that were never spoken out loud. He's reaching into your childhood, your lineage, your soul. He's bringing unity where walls once stood tall, clarity where the fog of confusion had settled in for years, and peace in the very places you once feared would remain unsettled forever. So, prepare your heart. This won't be a small blessing. It will be a divine upheaval in the best way possible. The very places you once struggled will become the areas where His glory shines brightest. You will soon say, "God, I never imagined it could happen like this." And yet, He will gently remind you, "I always had this planned." Will you dare to receive all that He's about to pour out, not just for your sake, but for every soul who will be transformed by watching your faith in motion? Chosen one, what's unfolding in your life is not natural, it's supernatural. These blessings aren't happening by accident, and they're certainly not the result of chance. They are precise movements orchestrated from heaven. Each shift, each door opening, each restoration is part of a divine strategy designed to align your family with God's eternal plan. Can you feel that this season carries a different weight? That something bigger than you is moving through you? There will be miracles so obvious they stop people in their tracks, unexpected promotions, sudden favor, divine protection in moments you didn't even know you needed it. And then, There will be miracles that come like whispers in the night. A long-held grudge slowly melting away. A prodigal child quietly returning home. A burden lifted from someone who never dared to ask for help. Which ones will surprise you more, the loud or the silent miracles? Don't overlook the quiet ones. Zechariah 4:10 reminds us, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." A healed heart, a softened spirit, a phone call that was never supposed to come. These small beginnings are the evidence of God's deeper work, healing from within. Often the most powerful moves of God begin in silence, in stillness, in moments no one else sees but you. Your family is about to witness blessings that defy reason. Logic won't explain it, statistics won't predict it, but the change will be undeniable. As they see these transformations take root, first in you, then in your household, they'll begin to ask questions they never thought they'd ask. Could God really be this good? Has He been watching us all along? The answer will be clear. He was never absent. He was preparing the right moment. Looking back, you'll realize this moment, the one you're standing in right now, is when everything started to unfold. It won't be because everything suddenly got easier. It will be because you stayed faithful when it was hardest. The moment you decided to trust instead of fear, to sow instead of retreat, to pray instead of panic, that was the moment heaven took notice. Psalm 126, 5-6 says, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Those who go out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them." You've carried those seeds. The harvest is coming. Prepare your heart, because what's approaching isn't just a reward. It's the beginning of a new divine legacy. This is more than just favor. It's fulfillment. The blessing that's about to touch your life will outlive you. It will echo through generations. And while others may see your success, you'll know it's not just yours. It's God's signature on your obedience. The very ones who doubted you will watch your life transform and find themselves inspired. Have you noticed how God often uses the most unexpected people to deliver the most powerful messages? Think of Joseph, betrayed, imprisoned, forgotten, yet in the end he became the one who saved his entire family. Genesis 50:20 tells us, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Just like Joseph, your journey hasn't been easy, but your endurance has birthed purpose. People will witness your family rising, not just financially or socially, but spiritually, and your rise will not only bring healing to your own household, but serve as a lighthouse for others still lost in the storm. This isn't about a season of victory. This is about establishing a new foundation of faith. American actor Denzel Washington, known not only for his roles but for his outspoken faith, once said, "Put God first in everything you do. Everything you think you see in me, and everything you think I've accomplished, in everything I have, is by the grace of God." Like Denzel, your life is about to become a public demonstration of grace. You won't need to shout it. The transformation will speak for itself. The waiting is over. This is not a time for hesitation. This is a time for clarity and courage. Your family is standing on the edge of complete transformation, and what God is building through you cannot be erased by fear, doubt, or delay. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" What He's doing is already taking shape. All you need to do is receive it. Chosen one, what God is doing in your life right now is unfolding faster than you imagined. This is no ordinary season. It is a divine reordering of your destiny, designed to shift the entire foundation of your family's future. Not just a partial change, not just an improvement, a complete generational shift that will echo beyond your lifetime. This timing, This sacred moment has been prepared by God Himself. Every delay, every tear, every prayer, every storm you endured in silence has led to this divine intersection. Can you sense the weight of it? The moment you've long carried in your heart, the one you almost gave up on, is not far off anymore. It's here, knocking. The hand of God is moving swiftly. What once felt like only a dream is now becoming your lived reality. Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us, though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. This isn't just a hopeful promise, it's a divine delivery in motion. How you respond in this hour matters deeply. Every choice you make, every step you take, every word of faith you speak is shaping the next chapter, not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. You are standing before a door that is about to swing wide, and on the other side, breakthrough, abundance, and restoration so complete, even your past struggles will begin to make sense. There's a divine acceleration taking place. Cycles of delay are being dismantled. What once took years will begin to happen in days. The momentum of heaven is upon you. Amos 9:13 describes it clearly. The days are coming when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman. New wine will drip from the mountains and flow from all the hills. What you're stepping into isn't just movement, it's overflow. This move of God isn't only reaching your circumstances, it's reaching into your household, your relationships, your history, your lineage, with an intensity that cannot be denied. The wind of heaven is sweeping through every hidden place, and it's carrying more than provision. It's bringing deep emotional healing. It's awakening spirits that have long been numb. It's reopening hearts that were closed off for years. Have you noticed the subtle signs already? The softening of someone's tone, the unexpected apology, the sudden openness to faith? This isn't just atmosphere, it's intervention. It's divine justice, spiritual awakening, and holy restoration arriving all at once. Where there were once accusations, grace is taking root. Where division stood, love is building bridges. Isaiah 61:4 declares, "They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated." That's what you're seeing, not just recovery, but rebuilding with purpose. Think about someone like Sarah Jakes Roberts, who once carried deep wounds from public failure and personal battles, yet surrendered it all to God. Today, she speaks life into millions across generations. Her healing became a ministry. Her past became a platform. And through her journey, families are being restored, faith is being reignited, and cycles are being broken. Just as her transformation made space for others to rise, yours is doing the same. Right now, right where you are. Expect to witness the impossible. Expect walls built over decades to begin falling. Expect restoration in areas you gave up hope for. Hardened hearts will soften. Silent bitterness will give way to healing conversations. Prayers that once felt ignored will return with multiplied answers. Joel 2:25 is God's promise to you. "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, every lost year, every stolen piece, every moment of delay." God is not only redeeming it, He's repaying it with interest. This is not just about financial increase or visible success, though those are certainly coming. This is deeper. This is a spiritual reawakening, a transformation that touches the heart before it ever touches the wallet. This is about healing wounds never spoken aloud, about removing fear that has run in your bloodline, about revealing truth in homes that have long lived with quiet pain. The shift is already happening. You don't need to strive, you just need to stay aligned. The blessing is here, and it's rewriting the atmosphere of your household. Your story is not only being redeemed, it's being multiplied. Chosen one, hear this clearly. This season is not just about receiving blessings, it's about alignment. Heaven is not simply releasing things to you, It's strategically positioning you. This isn't random increase. It's a divine realignment with God's eternal calendar. You're not just being gifted with favor. You're being placed exactly where you're meant to be, in the timing that was written before time began. Have you noticed how things that once seemed delayed, disconnected, or even disappointing are suddenly starting to make sense? That door that never opened, that opportunity you thought you missed, those moments where you sat in silence, wondering if you had made a mistake, all of it was part of God's sovereign orchestration. Romans 8:28 assures you that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. He didn't forget you. He was forming you. What once felt like failure will soon be revealed as preparation. And that long, quiet season, the one that made you question whether God still heard you, it wasn't neglect, it was incubation. Like a seed planted in darkness, you were being developed in the unseen. God was aligning hearts you haven't met yet, opening paths you haven't walked yet, and preparing breakthroughs your mind wasn't ready to receive. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds you, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. This is the unveiling. This is your appointed time. You may not have fully realized it before, but this entire journey has been a divine setup, not to harm you, but to launch you. Every no was protecting the yes that was holy. Every closed door was a redirect. Each delay was a lesson wrapped in love. And now, the pieces are coming together like a puzzle only heaven could have designed. Isn't it astonishing how what once felt chaotic is suddenly becoming clear? The disappointments were disguised classrooms, the silence was sacred strategy, and the pain, that was a platform being built beneath your feet. You were never forsaken, you were being fortified. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." You've been carried through the storm, and now the season of favor has broken open. Tell your family this: we are not living in ordinary times. These are sacred days, days where God is visiting households with purpose. What you're witnessing is a divine intersection where your past meets his promise. Faith is rising, miracles are multiplying, and you're being called to prepare, not just physically, but spiritually. This is the time to build the altar, to cleanse the atmosphere, to prepare your home for the presence of God. When the Israelites crossed the Jordan, God instructed them to build a memorial with stones from the riverbed, not to remember the difficulty, but to honor the breakthrough. In the same way, you are being called to mark this moment. This is where the shift becomes permanent. The overflow won't be contained. Expect to see transformation in places that once felt barren. Expect to see hands lifted in praise where there used to be pain. Expect to see joy rise where sorrow once reigned. Tasha Cobbs Leonard, gospel singer and worship leader, once shared how she battled depression even in the middle of success. But it was in her lowest place that she discovered the raw, restoring presence of God. Her worship today flows from that place. Her testimony reminds us, when God moves in silence, it is never stillness, it is strategy. In your life, the silence is ending and the release has begun. What lies ahead won't be small. It's not a drop, it's a flood. Malachi 3:10 says, "I will pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." God is about to display his glory in your life, in ways no one can deny. Those who doubted your faith, those who counted your family out, will see it for themselves. They'll watch with amazement as restoration flows into every area of your life. Your health, your finances, your peace, and your purpose. This isn't the end of your story. It's the unveiling of a new beginning, one where God receives the glory and your family walks in undeniable victory. What's coming is not a return to what was, it's a step into what was always promised. And when you look back, you'll understand why it all had to happen just like this. Chosen one, for years you've carried a quiet strength. Your faith has stood firm through storms that should have broken you. You were the one who kept praying when others walked away. You interceded when no one else saw the need. You wept in secret, yet still chose to believe in the promise. And heaven has taken notice. None of it was wasted. Not a single prayer, not a single tear, not a single moment of holding on when letting go would have been easier. This is the season where what's been seen only in the spirit will begin to manifest in the natural. What if those long nights of prayer were actually laying the foundation for a generational breakthrough? Psalm 56:8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Nothing has been overlooked. And now the reward is being released." The season of being misunderstood is drawing to a close. Where once your family questioned your calling, soon they'll begin to honor the purpose on your life. Where they once rejected your convictions, they'll be drawn to the clarity in your voice. The transformation won't be subtle. It will be powerful, undeniable, and divine. The kind of shift that silences critics, unsettles skeptics, and causes even your enemies to ask, what happened to them? When God lifts someone, He does it in such a way that no one can take credit but Him. 1 Peter 5:6 declares, "Humble yourselves under God's mighty hand, that He may lift you up in due time." That time has come. But understand this, you're not just being blessed, you're being positioned. This is more than favor. It's an assignment. It's the fulfillment of every silent sacrifice. You are being placed where your voice will carry weight, where your prayers will activate change, and where your presence will mark a turning point for those connected to you. Have you realized how your private obedience is birthing public impact? This is just the beginning. What's happening in your spirit is about to overflow into your bloodline. Healing will flow like a river into your children, your parents, your spouse, your siblings. The ripple effect will reach even distant relatives who barely know your journey. Isaiah 44. 3 promises. For I will pour water on the thirsty land and streams on the dry ground. I will pour out my spirit on your offspring and my blessing on your descendants. Generational curses that once seemed unbreakable are being dismantled. Cycles of fear, poverty, addiction, and silence are being uprooted. And in their place, God is planting a new legacy, one rooted in faith, nurtured by favor, and destined for purpose. This isn't the moment to retreat. It's time to take your position with boldness and authority. Speak life into your home. Declare peace over your family. Pray with the confidence that the answer is already on its way. Let hope rise again. Let love deepen beyond past wounds. Begin to dream in color again, because what God is doing is alive, and it's growing right beneath your feet. There's a real shift happening in the soil of your household. Every word you speak, every prayer you offer, every act of obedience, these are seeds, and they are being planted in rich ground. This isn't just spiritual talk. It's prophetic preparation. You are stepping into a season where faith becomes fruit. Look to the example of Dr. Bernice King, daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. Despite the overwhelming shadow of loss, grief, and public expectation, she rose with grace and purpose. She once said, "Struggle can become a pathway to purpose." And through years of spiritual endurance, she became a vessel of peace, justice, and healing, not just for her family, but for an entire generation. In the same way, your private struggles are turning into public legacy. Let nothing from your past hold you back. The pain was real, but the promise is more powerful. The weight of your past cannot compare to the glory about to be revealed. Romans 8:18 affirms, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. You are standing at the threshold of that glory. What lies ahead will overshadow what's behind, and every battle you endured is about to make perfect sense. God's favor is rising over your life, and it will be more than worth the wait. Chosen one, you've cried in silence. You've prayed with trembling hands. You've waited through nights when hope felt like a whisper, and yet you held on. Every tear, every ache, every unanswered question was not for nothing. It was shaping you in the secret place, laying a spiritual foundation strong enough to carry what's about to be poured into your life. This is more than a breakthrough. This is a divine turning point, a holy transition where heaven and earth meet, where everything begins to shift in your favor. Perhaps it didn't look like a setup at first. It may have looked like failure, like delay, like confusion. But what if the mess was part of the message? What if the pages that felt like endings were actually the preface to your greatest chapter? Genesis 28:16 captures a powerful moment when Jacob declared, "Surely the Lord is in this place and I did not know it." Could that have been your season? Could you have been standing in destiny, not even realizing it? Hearts are being stirred even now. There are people you haven't yet met who are being aligned to your story. Individuals who will carry keys to unlock the very doors you once stood crying outside of. Your journey is about to speak to them line by line, chapter by chapter, revealing that what once looked like loss was actually the launching point into promise. And this isn't abstract. This is not fantasy. It is prophecy. It is purpose. It is God moving in real time. Someone who's never heard your name will find favor because of your obedience. What you endured in silence will echo into their breakthrough. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." The suffering was real, but the glory will be greater. You didn't miss it. You didn't fail. Heaven was working while you were waiting. What felt like stillness was actually divine alignment in motion. Just because you couldn't see movement doesn't mean nothing was happening. Even the storm was a setup to recenter your purpose. Your faith was never in vain. The instructions from heaven have already been given. Earth is now responding. This is your moment to walk forward, not in hesitation, but in holy boldness. Miracles are already traveling toward you. The favor you've long prayed for is not a distant hope. It's here, and it's manifesting right in your bloodline. Isaiah 55:11 promises that God's word will not return void. It will accomplish everything He said it would. Can you feel it yet? The tension between heaven's promise and its unfolding. That pressure is the threshold of fulfillment. Think about Nick Vujicic, born without arms or legs, who once felt forgotten and rejected by God. But in time, his faith transformed his pain into a platform. His testimony now reaches millions across the globe. He once said, "If God can use a man without arms and legs to be His hands and feet, then He will certainly use any willing heart." Like Nick, your faith isn't small, it's radical, and it's about to produce a harvest that is both miraculous and multi-generational. Everything you've sown in tears, every moment you chose worship over worry, obedience over comfort, heaven has recorded it all. And even now, the hosts of heaven are backing you. The shift is not coming, it's here. Whether you feel ready or not, it's unfolding. Whether others recognize it or not, God has already declared it over your life. This is your confirmation. What God is doing will be greater than what you imagined. Expect transformation in your health, in your home, in your relationships, in your spirit. The story is no longer hidden. It's being revealed. The question is no longer, will it happen? But are you ready to walk in it? Chosen one, don't be surprised if the pace suddenly increases. You're stepping into divine acceleration, where time begins to bow to purpose. What once seemed like a distant dream will begin unfolding swiftly, even without warning. One moment you'll feel like nothing is moving, and in the next, everything will be shifting all at once. Isaiah 60:22 declares, "At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen." This is the right time, not according to man's timeline, but God's calendar. The reason your process has been so intense is because your assignment is that significant. You've been stretched, refined, misunderstood, and tested, not to break you, but to prepare you to carry glory in a way others can't. What if the weight of your trials was directly proportional to the weight of your calling? Can you see now why the road had to be so narrow? You're not just being elevated, you're being entrusted. God is putting something in your hands that will outlast you. The way you carry this blessing, how you handle favor, how you walk through open doors, how you speak in rooms you never thought you'd enter, will determine the legacy that flows from your life. There are lives waiting on your yes. Families will be healed, faith will be restored, and destinies will be awakened because you chose to stay when others ran. Your obedience in the shadows is creating opportunities in the light. Esther had no idea that her positioning in the palace was not just for her survival, it was for the deliverance of an entire nation. Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Esther 4:14. You too are standing in a moment that has far-reaching implications. What you walk through now is not just about your name, it's about the generations attached to your bloodline and the strangers assigned to your impact. Realize this, God isn't simply giving you a platform, He's building a place of refuge through your life, a safe space where others can witness restoration and believe again. Your life is becoming a sanctuary, a walking testimony that hope is real and that promises do get fulfilled. Even now, God is refining your sensitivity. You're beginning to discern people differently. Conversations feel heavier with purpose. Interactions feel divinely timed. That's not coincidence. That's the Holy Spirit heightening your awareness. You are being trained to move with precision in this next chapter. Think of Jeremy Camp, a Christian singer who lost his young wife to cancer just months after marrying her. He could have walked away from faith, but instead he leaned into God. He turned tragedy into testimony. His music has since touched millions. Why? Because he let God use the pain. He let the ashes become a platform for beauty. Isaiah 61:3 speaks of this exchange, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes. In the same way, your ashes are becoming oil. The weight you've carried is about to turn into an anointing the world will recognize. As you move forward, stay grounded. Keep your spirit humble and your eyes on heaven. Don't let the applause distract you. Don't let the speed intimidate you. Stay focused on the one who sent you. Stay obedient to the last instruction, even if a new one hasn't yet been given. This chapter requires your full attention, your full surrender, and your full awareness of what's truly at stake. This isn't just your breakthrough. This is the birthing of a movement, and you are its vessel. Chosen one, the birthing has begun. This next stretch will require both your surrender and your strength. God is not just calling you to receive, He's calling you to reveal. What has been cultivated in secret must now come forth in the open. And not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will approve. But that was never the requirement. This move is not for validation, it's for manifestation. What's been hidden is about to be made visible. And the very people who misread your silence will begin to witness your sound, your voice, your testimony, your impact, unfolding with holy fire. Romans 8:19 speaks to this moment. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. You're not becoming, you've already become. The unveiling is what's next. It's time to release the fear of being too much. The calling on your life will always feel too big for those who were never assigned to carry it. But it fits you. It was tailored for you. Like David wearing Saul's armor, you tried to walk in what was never made for you, and now you're returning to your sling and your stone, the weapons that were always enough. And here's the mystery of this season. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. It's already been commanded to find you. Deuteronomy 28:2 says, "All these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you if you obey the voice of the Lord your God." What would it look like to stop striving and start aligning? God is sending resources, relationships, instructions, and confirmations. The moment your spirit aligns, the natural will follow. You don't need to make it happen. You only need to make room. This is why the stretching felt so severe. It was never just about capacity. It was about preparation for occupancy. God was expanding your spiritual frame to hold what you once prayed for. He wasn't delaying your destiny. He was guarding it. Take a moment to look back. The patterns that tried to repeat, the generational fears that stalked your steps, they're breaking because you stayed, because you said yes, because you refused to repeat what God called you to redeem. Corey Asbury, known for the song Reckless Love, once spoke about how he ran from God's calling, wrestling with shame and doubt. But when he finally surrendered, everything changed, not just for him, but for the millions his worship has now touched. That's what happens when you stop resisting the shift and step into it fully. God doesn't just restore, He multiplies. You're not walking into this alone. Heaven is moving with you. Angels are assigned. The Spirit is guiding. And every promise God spoke over your name is still alive. Isaiah 55:11 assures, "My word that goes out from my mouth will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Your name is still echoing in heaven. Your obedience still matters. And this next step will mark the beginning of fulfillment after years of formation. You've been trained in tears, refined in fire, shaped in stillness, and now it's time to walk, not as who you were, but as who you are, chosen, appointed, and empowered. This isn't a temporary rise, it's a permanent awakening. Chosen one, this awakening is not just for you, it's for everyone connected to you, those you pray for, those who've watched from a distance, even those who once walked away. What's coming is going to ripple beyond your lifetime. This is not just a moment of personal restoration. This is generational redefinition. What you are stepping into will rewrite the narrative of your entire bloodline. Where there was pain, there will be peace. Where there was scarcity, abundance. Where there was confusion, clarity, and it begins with you. Isaiah 58:12 says, "You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings." You are the restoration your family didn't see coming, the one who prays in silence, the one who walks in rooms carrying fire, the one who says, "It ends with me." You've been chosen to carry what others were too burdened to lift. You've been called to say yes where generations said no. And because of your faith, what was once considered lost will be found, rebuilt, revived, and redeemed. This is your legacy, not fame, not recognition, but eternal fruit, fruit that remains. There are people you haven't even met yet who will thank God one day that you didn't give up. There are children yet to be born who will walk in freedom because you broke the chains. There are prayers that haven't yet been spoken, but your obedience has already made space for their answers. Christine Kane, global evangelist and activist, was once abandoned at birth, unnamed, unwanted. But through relentless faith and surrender, she rose to lead ministries that rescue the forgotten and restore the abused. She once said, "God is not looking for extraordinary people. He's looking for ordinary people who will say yes." That's what makes you powerful. You said yes when no one saw it but God. And yes, the cost was great, but the reward, greater still. Galatians 6:9 promises, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The harvest is already forming in the soil beneath you. It's rising in the silence, preparing to break through the surface. Walk with awareness. Your footsteps are prophetic. Your presence is purposeful. You are carrying something holy, and the world will soon feel its weight. You don't need to strive for it. You don't need to prove anything. Heaven already approved you. You don't need to force doors open. God is unlocking what no man can shut. And when it opens, walk through it knowing you were always meant to be there. This is the rise, the moment you were built for, the divine unveiling of everything that was being prepared in the unseen. You are the answer to prayers you didn't pray. You are the restoration of what was lost long before you were born. And this time, the shift won't be a whisper. It will be a wave. Chosen one, this is no longer preparation. It is activation. The waiting season is over. The assignment is live. You are not stepping into the shift. The shift has come for you. You are the move of God your family has been waiting for. No longer will you doubt whether you are ready. You are. No longer will you question if the call was meant for someone else. It wasn't. It was always you. Not because you were the most qualified. Not because you had the cleanest record, but because your heart remained open. 2 Chronicles 16:9 declares, "For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him." He found that in you. The heavens are responding to your consistency. The earth is shifting to accommodate what you carry. You're not just being restored, you're being revealed. What God deposited in you long ago is now rising to the surface. The seeds are breaking through. The vision is no longer a dream, it's a directive. The Spirit of God is moving through your house, and He's not coming to visit, He's coming to dwell. Prepare your home as a sanctuary. Speak blessings over your rooms. Anoint your children with oil. Declare protection over your bloodline. Joshua 24:15 says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." That's not just a promise, it's your posture from this day forward. You are not just stepping into breakthrough, you are becoming the breaker, the one who goes first, who tears down walls, who lifts others as you rise. Where others gave up, you stood. Where others were silenced, you spoke. And where others feared, you prayed. You've crossed over. This is the Jordan moment. The wilderness is behind you. The inheritance is in front of you. The promise is not coming. It has come. Chosen one, take a deep breath. This is your confirmation. You didn't imagine the stirring in your spirit. What you felt was real. The atmosphere has shifted, and whether the world notices it yet or not, heaven knows your name. You've walked through fire, and not only did you survive, you've emerged refined, anointed, and appointed. This is more than a chapter change. This is divine commissioning. You've crossed into a space where prayers turn into power, where what you once whispered through tears is now becoming your testimony. Isaiah 43:19 tells you plainly, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" You are not just walking into something new. You are becoming something new. Every trial had a purpose. Every delay had divine design. And every moment of isolation was a sacred preparation for elevation. The same God who hid you in the wilderness is now releasing you in the spotlight, not for your glory, but for His. You've been set apart, not just to be blessed, but to become the blessing, to stand as the pillar your family leans on, to be the voice of faith when doubt fills the room, to walk with confidence when others are paralyzed by fear. This is not the end of your story. It is the start of your legacy, one written not with ink, but with faith, fire, and favor. If this word resonated in your soul, if it felt like a mirror to your journey, don't let it pass without declaring your agreement. Type 777 in the comments. That's more than a number, it's a sign. It means, God, I see it. I believe it. I receive it. It's your spiritual signature, a visible agreement with heaven that says, I'm ready. To everyone who has supported this message, whether through a word of encouragement, a silent prayer, or a generous gift through super thanks, we are deeply grateful. Your support is not just appreciated, it's anointed. You're helping carry this message into homes, hearts, and nations. And for that, we thank you with all our spirit. Even if all you could offer was your time, your presence here is no small thing. It's part of the shift. You being here means God is drawing you into alignment with something greater. You're not just consuming this message, you are connected to it. You're part of a divine movement that cannot be stopped. And so we bless you, right where you are. May the Lord bless your rising and your resting. May heaven's wind push you forward in everything your hands touch. May your household become a wellspring of peace, your children walk in prophetic purpose, and your name echo in heaven as one who remained faithful, even when it didn't make sense. May the healing you never thought would come finally find you. May the doors that once slammed in your face reopen with divine invitation. May every battle you've fought in the dark be met with vindication in the light. This is your sacred shift. The old has passed, the new is here. Walk boldly, love deeply, speak with authority, and stay rooted in the presence of the one who chose you before the foundations of the world. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this word with someone who needs to hear it. Someone's breakthrough may be hidden inside your obedience to press share. And if this ministry has blessed you and you feel led, you can sow into this work through super thanks, because every offering helps us continue spreading the light of Christ to the places it's needed most. Until next time, stay faithful, stay watchful, stay chosen. You were born for this. God bless you and your entire household, abundantly, eternally, and unmistakably.